How do you control your fear response? These are some ways that are really quick and effective ways to deal with your fear. Let's get it.
Yeah, I'm inspired. I'm inspired.
Hey there guys, how's it going? My name is Suman Chatterjee from the Flow Zone Academy, and I'm a flow state coach, which means that I help you feel better and perform better. Today we're talking about how fear can be eliminated through some very practical methods. Understand that the fear-based system is actually a very protective system, right? It's an adaptive system, which means that it's there to protect you. It's there to ultimately make sure that you're safe and okay, that there is a threat reflex that happens from the amygdala, right? So the fear system is intricately woven with the memory system, okay? Now, you might have heard of Pavlovian conditioning, okay? You ring a bell and you associate the bell with food, and then the dog salivates to the bell eventually. And because it's expecting food, right? It's associated to things in the mind. So the first thing that you can actually do to help you with your fear is you can retell the narrative, okay? You can retell the narrative to yourself that is very, very beneficial to you. Now, this is a cognitive behavioral approach, but talking with a counselor, or therapist, or a friend, or anybody for that matter, about the trauma or about the issue or the thing that you fear, the event in your mind of the thing that you fear, if you keep retelling it and retelling it, it's not going to hardwire the trauma in. And actually what tends to happen is it gets more boring over time. It desensitizes you to the actual event. And so retelling a story in different ways, or the fear memory in different ways, memories can be dangerous or protective. Protective in the sense that it protects you, dangerous in the sense that it destabilizes you, makes you feel uncomfortable, and it keeps showing up, right? So once you start retelling the story in different ways, it's really going to start to help you take away the charge, the emotional charge to that fear. Okay, so just try retelling the story to someone and speak it out. Try doing this weekly. This is why going to, a counselor, a therapist, or a coach or a practitioner is really important, because then you're retelling the story in different ways. And as you're doing that, you're actually healing, and you're limiting that fearful response or that charge, which actually what happens is, like, the fear has a long-term potentiation, okay? And neuroplasticity is an important effect that is at play, because that's what strengthens the synapses, right? It's almost like it goes from Morse code connection in your brain to a 5G Ethernet when you're learning something faster. It's the long-term potentiation happens with things that we're actively trying to learn, more positive things, and a short-term potentiation, like a very quick threat response, will make us learn that thing super fast, right? So it'll make us seem that in our minds that the fear is a big part of our lives and it's a big narrative, right? However, it's bigger in our minds than it is in real life, in a sense, because we have a fact, we add assumptions over the fact, we add generalizations over the fact, we add judgments over the fact, we add our own interpretations over the facts, and it gets all jumbled up in our own minds. So we have to retell the narrative in a way that is articulate, that feels accurate to you, the baseline reality, right? The neutral version of the story, not the exaggerated version, not the one with full of cognitive distortions, but the actual story that is legit, like what actually happened, right? And once we can get to that, it really starts to fit pieces of the puzzle together to basically bridge and heal your inner world, okay? Based on fear or a fear response. Another thing that you can do for fear and trauma specifically is think of the memory in your mind and move your eyes from left to right, okay? This actually slows down the amygdala and it makes us feel safe. Now, there's a reason for this, because when we look left and right, we, as ancestors, right, we grew up looking at this kind of world through up and down and left and right, mostly left and right? Horizontally, that's how hunters would hunt, is they look from left to right to make sure that there's no threats in the environment. So once we look from left to right as we're experiencing the trauma in our mind's eye, you can do this with open eye or closed eye, but it's called EMDR, okay, this kind of therapy, the rapid eye movement therapy, okay, where it desensitizes yourself to the PTSD or the trauma that you've experienced. So you go left, right, left, right. Now, one thing that you can do 5 minutes, just 5 minutes a day, is probably what you're wondering about, is a breath work, okay? So you set a timer for 5 minutes, and you do this. You inhale twice, so through the nose. Exhale long through the mouth. Again. This really calms you down, and what they've noticed is we do this sometimes in sleep when we're trying to find a way to calm ourselves down, if it, like we have a nightmare or something like that. And so this type of breath is very, very relaxing. So if you do this like 5 minutes a day, it will, over time, that relaxation will go into other areas of your life, and it will make the overall fear that you're experiencing much less, okay? These are just some techniques backed by science. You know, if you are interested in working with me one-on-one, shoot me a message. Hope you enjoyed this video today. Have an incredible day. May the flow be with you and stay legendary. Let's get it.